Hi, I'm Jeff-McErlain, and today I want to talk about the spectacular guitar solo by David Gilmour on the song The Final Cut. Not only am I going to show you how to play the solo, I'm going to break it down for you note for note so we can figure out why David Gilmour made the note choices that he did. So, let's dig in. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the like button and the alert button to let you know when new videos come out. The Final Cut came out in 1983 and it was the last Pink Floyd record with Roger Waters. I think it's one of my favorite Pink Floyd records, and I think it's some of David Gilmour's finest guitar playing. It's much more sparse than he is on some other records, but he was into something a little different at this point, a little more reminiscent of the way he played on Animals, which is my favorite Pink Floyd record. What I love so much about David Gilmour's guitar solo is the way he outlines the chord changes of the song. So let's check out the chord changes of the solo section. We have A minor to F, A minor to C, flat, D minor, G minor, quick C, back to F. The solo starts off All right, that's the first phrase. So our first chord is A minor. He starts off with a C, F, bend up a whole step to the G. So we're hitting the flatted third of my A minor chord, which is the C. A minor spelled A-C-E. Then he bends this F note, which is part of your scale, and he bends up to a G note. Now A minor 7 is A, C, E, and G. So it's actually going, right? So he's playing two notes of an A minor 7 chord, and he's using the F bend because it sounds great, but it really ultimately is going. And I'm going to play C to A. The C note is still on the A minor chord, A, C, E. And then we're going to pull off to the A, which of course is on the A chord, the A minor chord, but it is also part of your F chord, F-A-C. So it really feels great because it's the third of your F major chord. So once again, flat 3 of my A minor chord, bending up from the F to the G, which is a flat 7. Then he's playing the C, which is a flat 3 of the A minor chord, to the A, which turns out to be on that downbeat of the F chord, which is the third of the F chord. Then he plays that same kind of phrase. Now this is still on the F chord. He's playing C and F. F is spelled F-A-C. So those two notes are perfect because he's coming out of the F chord. But if we break it apart, watch. He goes. Right there we have an F major triad. He's just outlined F major by going fifth, which is A, flat 3, and my root. All right, so the first phrase, once again. Vibrato with the bar. Okay, now we do A minor, play A minor, then he goes to C with G in the bass. So I have that same phrase, bending that G, which is the flat 7, the A minor 7 chord. So in this case, he goes right down the scale. F, E, D, C, right, for that C chord. Now he builds up, he's coming to the B flat major chord next. So here I'm going to play up the scale once again. It's actually an F major scale. F, G, A, B flat, C, D. And in typical Gilmour fashion, instead of fretting a note, he will often bend to the note that he means to sound. So B flat major is spelled B flat, D, and F. So if you look at the notes that he's spending time on, the downbeats, we're going to start off with the C, because we're still coming from our C chord. C, D, E, bend up to F, release it to the D, C, bend to the D. So then he goes to D minor. It's kind of going to a D minor pentatonic position here. For the D minor chord, so D minor or D, F, A, and maybe by extension D minor 7, D, F, A, C. So check this out. You get the D minor chord. So there, bending the flat 7 to the root, 5, and I'm going to bend the 4, the scale, up to the 5th of the chord. So we're basically playing right? D minor chord. There we go, the G minor chord. Right, so this G minor is spelled G, B flat, D, and G minor 7, G, B flat, D, F, D, F, G. So you're basically playing off of a G minor chord there too. So we go up top now, which is really great. And if you look at the notes, I'm bending G to A, up to B flat, back down to G. Still on the G minor chord. G minor is spelled G, B flat, D. Now that A is the second of the chord, but it actually functions, it sounds like what we call a 9. Adds some sort of like a nice mellow tension. Right? Then, again, so G minor 7, G, B flat, D, F. Here we have the D, F to the G, outlining that chord. And there we go, right down between the C chord to the F chord. We go down the F major scale and resolve on the downbeat on the F note. You may ask why I just don't go. You might do that in position. Sonically, it sounded like the thicker strings, and a lot of times that's a big part of this, that the timbre of the strings make a big difference. There's many ways you could finger this. This is the way that sounded closest to my ear. So definitely learn the solo. I did. I really learned a lot from it when I was younger, when I first learned it. Worked on vibrato, the bends, the phrasing, the dynamics. It's a beautiful guitar solo. But one thing I overlooked when I was younger was why it sounds so good, apart from the musicality and the bends and the vibrato and all that beautiful stuff that we know he does so well. One of the reasons why it sounds so good is he's outlining the chord changes. One thing to keep in mind, and I find to be actually a bit of a relief, is to find out that David Gilmour does not improvise these guitar solos. He composes them. So he may play over the track a bunch of time in the studio, have some improvisatory moments, pick out his favorite sections, he then pieces them together as a guitar solo and learns them. And so that's why they're so perfect. And to me, there's nothing wrong with composing a solo. Actually, on a song like this, that would be what I would do. But it also made me go, oh wow, he's not just winging that or pulling it out of his back pocket. He's thought about this. He's thought about the right notes at the right time. And that's a really important lesson, because he's not, like I said, he's not just playing scales. He's thinking about the chords as they go down and as they go by, and he's outlining them. And we can see what kind of effect it can have. You can really easily do this with your own playing too. Make up a chord progression, or take one of your favorite chord progressions and try to create your own solo by hitting chord tones. Also, analyze the solo that you know or that you've learned from somebody else and see where the chord tones are being hit. Other great David Gilmour guitar solos for this: the first guitar solo to Comfortably Numb, the solo to Mother, sort of pretty much anything, but those two are particularly great to learn to see how he outlines the changes as they go by. Thanks so much for checking out this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and ring the notification bell. I also want to let you know that I have 3 courses that discuss the idea of chord tone soloing, or using chord tones while soloing. And one of them is called Blues Rock Masters, the British edition, and in there I talk about David Gilmour in great detail, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and Eric Clapton. The other 2 courses are available through my website, and those are through Truefire, and they're called Chord Tone Soloing and Playing the Changes. And in both of those courses, I teach the same kind of concept of using triads and outlining chord changes using popular rock and blues chord progressions. All right, so thanks for checking this out, and I hope to see you again soon.